you're still welcome to come to all the chats.
I am. I love
Cool, bro.
Survivor.
I know, dude. I know. You're the #1 Survivor fan that's not in this pool that I know.
And this is Pip that just joined us.
Hey, what's going on?
She's also on the island. She's the one who's graciously allowed us to use her Zoom so that we could have multiple people in the chat.
Thanks for that, Pip. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
My pleasure. Well, I appreciate the Survivor. Well, you people are my people.
Also,
Yeah,
ladies,
time, right?
if you guys have questions about Survivor Australia, Pip's your girl because she loves it.
So good. It's better. Way better. And I have a link if anybody wants it so that you can watch every episode streaming.
We got a few audio issues there, Pip. Are you just using your computer mic?
I am right now because
Okay. Well, what you're gonna have to do before next time is spend at least $300 on professional mic setup.
My headset's coming.
That's fine. Whatever. I'm just joking around. Okay. Yeah. Should I watch Australian Survivor? That's what I want to know.
100%.
Okay, it's pretty good. How many contestants are there on Australian Survivor? Because I heard it's more than regular Survivor.
It's longer. The shows are longer. Everything about it's better. Everything. I don't know if I honestly, the best part about now is that I get to watch Survivor on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know, 3 days a week.
That's a hell of a lot of Survivor.
Yeah. Do you work?
Quitting my day job.
None of us work right now. Woo!
Well, we work from home.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean,
I worked today.
all right.
What do you work at, Kelly?
I work at Camosun with Ryan.
That's right.
Oh. Yay.
Kelly's my coworker colleague over there at Camosun College on the island.
What do you guys do there? Oh, on the island.
Yeah.
Island people. Me too. I'm in Maple Bay.
Oh, right on. It's nice in Maple Bay. Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
And Randy, how's Yaletown tonight?
I just heard all the pots and pans.
People go out there for the
right.
healthcare
7 o'clock.
Yeah, that was 7 o'clock, and there's a lot every day. It's been getting
bigger and bigger,
louder,
bigger and bigger, louder and louder. And I'm hearing that it's extended to East Van, Surrey. All of these other communities have joined in.
That's awesome.
7 o'clock, so that's cool.
Do they do it on the island?
Yeah, Victoria's getting in on it.
I heard they were thinking of, they were looking into whether or not they could change the 9 o'clock gun in Stanley Park to also fire at 7.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess there's a lot of procedural bureaucracy you have to go through to press that button one more time. It's gotta be.
They said it wasn't as easy as, like flipping a switch. There's something involved in actually firing it. I mean, someone has to go out to that gun every day and actually pack it with gunpowder to fire.
It's not a real gun.
Yeah, but
there's no gunpowder in that thing.
It doesn't fire anything, but you still have to. It still fires like a normal cannon. Just nothing comes out.
It seems like a waste of gunpowder. All right. Well, let's focus on Survivor here. We're mixed on Sandra's leaving, but I think who gives a shit if Sandra wants to leave?
Well, I'm glad she's gone. Bye-bye.
Wow. Okay.
She didn't do any of the challenges. It was, she was.
She
smart
never
to leave.
does. She never does.
Like, it's not.
I got
American
tired of
Gladiators.
the whole diva. Who's gonna sit out? Me.
Sure. Look, if you're on a TV
Yeah,
show,
okay. There's your spot on the center bench.
I'll take Sandra's attention whoring more than I can handle Adam's attention whoring.
I like Adam. I'm sorry. I like
too.
Adam. I do.
Enough is enough, Adam.
He didn't do really well this season, I will say. He's kind of been the whiny bitch. No offense.
Been a bit much.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So most people seem to be in favor of Sandra leaving. I'm certainly neutral to not giving a shit about Sandra having left. Then we move on to Edge of Extinction, and we have the fantastic scene with Rob bounding ahead. Tyson declaring Rob a portly chap.
Well,
that was good. That was good. Considering he got all the tokens.
Yeah,
Did
it's pretty.
production give Rob a map to like where all the tokens were? Was that part of the deal to come back? Because he found them pretty easily, 3 of them.
I feel like when he was on, what's that last season? The Island of the Idols.
Right, yeah.
One of the things on the Island of the Idols was here is the map to all of the things you're going to need to make sure that
That's
that
what I
you
assumed.
win. Yeah. that you win.
I
But
think
they showed the clips of where they all were, and they were not really hidden like normal
No.
community idols are, right? They were pretty well out in plain sight, and once you knew what one looked like, and they said, it clearly said they were at the end of each of the trails. So get to the end of each of the trails fast enough, look for that, wrapped up token. I'm not surprised. What I'm surprised at is that he got there before everybody.
Yeah. How did Rob beat anybody else up that hill?
I think
Rob
he
is
felt,
being a portly chap.
Correct.
can't you just look out for like the boom mic operator and the cameraman and know where all those
Right?
things are going to be?
I
Yeah,
will say
'cause
I
they have to be up there waiting for when they arrive. Like they're not going
Well,
to.
they are, because I'm not
behind them.
following like Tyson at like running speed carrying camera equipment, so they're like waiting at certain spots for them to find them, right? So
Yeah.
You know,
just follow these guys.
The things you don't really think of when you're watching it, right? But obviously, yeah.
it's
think
got to
Rob's
be
a
so hard to
fail.
be sneaky. It's got to be
Mhm.
so hard to be sneaky on that show because you try to sneak off and there's the camera guy and there's the boom guy probably. They're
Yeah.
following right behind you.
Following
And I don't know if the boom guy always goes because I know they do a lot of dubbing in later on.
Right, yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
obvious. When you see some of the splicing they're doing with Kim's comments this week, I'm like, oh man, she did not say that in that order. But
Right.
That's why you need the Spy Shack.
yeah, that was a pretty ineffective.
I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
Well, last week Tony
The
did the
Spy
Shack.
Shack wasn't last week; it was the week before.
No, I meant Kim and her splicing of comments.
Oh.
It happens all the time. As if you don't see them speaking, it's like voiceover that they recorded maybe a week before or at any given time that's discontiguous, right? If you don't see them in confessional and you just hear the voiceover, it's from some other time. Otherwise, they'd show them talking.
I think they do it a lot more now than they used to. I think they really try to ramp up the drama and the ambiguity
more.
for tribal council, so they definitely, production plays with it way more now.
There's one point I want to make that really illustrates this. It was about day 7 or 8 when Tony was trying to talk to Sandra to get her to keep Tyson in or something like that. And there's one in one scene, Tony has like clearly 7 or 8 days worth of shadow. He looks like Randy pretty much. And then in another scene, he's got like maybe 2 days of beard growth.
Yeah.
And they go back and forth between them. Because I don't think that conversation with Sandra, like let's keep Tyson in, took place on day 8. It took place on like day 2.
Right.
Which I don't really care if they do that. I don't know.
I think it's kind of disingenuous. I really don't like when they try to fool the
Mm.
audience like that. It's just to try to like drum up drama where there isn't any. There should be enough going on that you don't need to do that.
Yeah, but sometimes some weeks there's no story. Like Parvati getting voted out. Guess what? There was no way Parvati was staying in. Even tonight or last night, sorry, with Yule. What do you guys think? Did Yule play himself out of that game?
Oh
Love
yeah.
You think?
Really?
You think they were complete, agreement on Wendell until Yule really started talking about trying to flush this his fire token out by doing something, and then
Yeah.
they're like, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, maybe we should get Yule out, because I think that was probably another thing for the show, like just to make the show look good. They probably had that in place or were thinking about it before even having those discussions.
Well, Yule always makes the mistake where he tries to appeal to people on an intellectual basis, right? Whereas you really form bonds on some sort of emotional, visceral level, and you're not going to convince people talking about market economics. It's just not. It's just
totally
not a
did.
sell. Yeah,
Supply and
pretty
demand.
you're
pragmatic.
right.
Yeah, he was really pragmatic. I think that was his downfall.
And that would work with Vulcans, but these are human beings, so.
Yeah, I suppose.
I was
don't
hoping
know.
he would do well. Actually,
I mean,
He
did
seemed
the
like a
best of the
winner.
old schoolers.
maybe they'll do something weird with Extinction Island and have more than one come back.
Oh, 2 people are coming back, but 1 now and 1 later, I think.
Yeah, I think we'll see one at like maybe final 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
would be
Isn't that
my
what
guess.
happened last time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they just don't reveal stuff like that before the show start. They want to leave some element of surprise, I guess, going forward. So
So maybe the fire tokens have something to do with who gets to come back.
oh, those fire tokens are, yeah, I mean, they're currency to buy advantages. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. So you can use up to 3 tokens to buy advantages, and we're trying to decide, like, okay, is this like a multi-stage challenge, and you can buy like an advantage at each level of the stages, or can you buy your way through to the final stage or something like that? But given, and then we were trying to do a count, and given that like Natalie has 3 and Rob has 3 or 4, you know, I don't know if they could just buy their way to the end per se, but it seems like maybe only if the advantage was that advantageous, there's only really 2 people in the running, right? There's Rob and there's Natalie.
How many does poverty have?
I think
Yes.
0.
0. You have to
Okay.
give.
Should've
You have to
said
give
it.
them back.
Funny.
You give your fire tokens away when you get to whatever
Extinction.
extinction. Yeah.
You can't take them with you, and she hasn't. She only showed up last week,
Yeah,
and
she
didn't
wasn't
have
part of
one
the
us.
log challenge, so.
No,
Mm.
she has a very minimal chance of getting back into the game, I would guess.
Everybody loves her though.
She can't flirt her way back into the. Well,
I
maybe
was
she
just gonna
could.
say that she can't flirt her way back in.
Yeah, I swear, in those seasons past, you know what? I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say what I think about Parvati, and you know,
I will say who.
using every possible tool at her disposal.
Okay, who likes Rob? Can I just
Not
ask?
me. Not
No.
me.
To get back in, I like the character of Rob. I mean, to get back in the game, I don't like his chances, but I think he's a great character.
Really?
So you guys, I honestly think that you guys are talking about those fire tokens. I think they fed him the fire tokens because the producers love him, so they want him to be there and then give him a second win.
Randy, that's a hot take, buddy.
Don't like
Hot
Rob.
take. You guys really think that production is helping Boston Rob lining his pockets? I think that they sewed those tokens into his underwear.
Yeah.
That's probably the most.
Hey, Rob, we got a new pair of briefs for you. Try these on.
God, I do not like Rob Father.
I think he was terrible. He was a fail in all the challenges this season. Like he was the worst.
Why do you guys love the challenges so much? Who gives a shit about these challenges? Jesus Christ.
I just don't like Rob. I just don't like Rob.
They're half the game, the challenges, no?
No, they're not. The challenges are basically if you've fucked up your social game, you need to win the challenge. You need to win the challenges.
Interesting.
I don't know. I think they're overemphasized.
Because they're so cool.
Didn't you?
Do you still find them that cool?
And Sandra on your team?
I think they're better.
I'm kind of numb to them because they always have this big puzzle component at the end to them now, and they're always just kind of this multi-stage thing where the puzzle is so complex it doesn't really matter how you do in the first few stages of it generally. And they kind of take on
within the tribes a lot more interesting.
Me too.
I think they need to make it longer because of extinction. It's just too short.
It's too many threads to follow.
Right.
There's no question that all of us have the time. We don't have. We're just sitting here
Cheers
on
to
Thursday
that.
night.
Oh, on that note, I need more wine.
With fellow.
Cheers. Woo. Be right back.
Oh, Survivor? That show's still on? What? Oh, I can't believe that show's still on. Is that fat gay guy still on it?
Who are you talking to?
Who's the fat gay guy?
Richard Hatch from season 1. So many times when I tell people that I watch Survivor, they're like, "Oh, is that show still on?" You guys never get that. You never get
all
that.
the time. No idea.
I just don't know where you're hanging out. Like at UFC conventions. Like where are you?
I teach at a college, man, on the island.
Okay.
There's a high element of redneckery out there.
Is it guys everyone just like on the podcast or just off in drinks?
Yeah, I've got an actual fire in my oven right now. If you don't believe, oh shit, it's actually burning. So you guys just keep it real over there with Survivor. I'm gonna try and put out this literal fire.
So I noticed 27 people watched the last podcast. What's the threshold for it going viral? Is
Our
it like 40
podcast?
people?
What podcast?
Since we're in a
This
closed
one.
group, since we're in a closed group, only 30 people will ever see what we post.
Guys, how do I put out a fire that's in an oven?
Oh, geez.
Water.
blow really
No,
hard.
you don't put water on it. It's a
Not
grease
water.
fire.
Okay,
Not water.
don't do what? Baking soda.
Yeah, that's
Can you just
Yeah.
put a lid on it?
I don't
Yeah.
have baking soda. Oh shit, guys, it's getting big.
Do you have baking powder?
I doubt it. Yeah, I have baking powder.
Flour. Get flour. Flour.
Serious?
Try it.
Flour or baking powder,
Yeah,
one of the
either
two.
yeah.
Throw
Bigger-
that shit all over it.
Right?
Oh my
Bigger
God,
or
dude.
smaller or
Do you
go
have
home.
a fire extinguisher in your place? Maybe that will
No.
work.
I got bear spray. Will that work?
Try it.
Okay, no.
Caitlin,
Oh
what
my
do I
God.
do to put this out?
Also,
Try it
can you
again.
turn your camera
Ryan.
I like you, Ryan.
Killing it. Guys, you talk about Survivor, okay? Caitlin,
I
where's
wish I could see this right now.
Yeah, me too.
Caitlin, it's
Are
getting
we
bigger.
going to witness Ryan's apartment burn down
Where
live
is the
on
flour?
the podcast?
Flour.
This
Get
is
the flour.
best.
Because I guarantee you will go viral if that's the case.
So
You
guys,
should go get the phone.
right? I shared with you guys in the chat because I know
Okay.
you're all stoked about it. I shared with you Survivor Australia, a link that you can
Christ.
stream for
Okay, go ahead.
free. So
Oh, nice.
you can actually watch any television program you want, HBO, anything on this streaming site. It's
Really?
like,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. It's heaven.
Son of
really.
a bitch. I don't know how to put this out. Ugh.
Oh, okay, let's search online for how to put out grease fire, you say?
Well, there's just a lot of cheese from my quiche. Okay, the flour's working. It's making a real mess in my oven, but it's
I'm surprised that your smoke detector isn't going off yet.
yeah, I like to disable that.
I'm calling
No
it a
kidding.
win with the flour.
Oh Jesus,
This
it's
is the
kind of
best
out,
bite
but not really.
I've ever had.
Oh, Ryan.
It's fine.
So I was actually mortified at being unprofessional by kind of logging in 8 minutes late, but now I don't feel so bad because this is a gong show.
Okay, you
No,
guys
you're
talk
good.
about talk about Survivor. Okay, I'll deal with this.
All right.
So who do we think is gonna win?
Oh, we
Sophie.
do.
Yeah,
I
we
might
last
give you
last episode we picked what top 3 or who was going to make the final.
Yeah, everyone chose their top 3, I think, but no
Yeah.
one. I don't think we ever chose a winner. But
A lot of people were in on Sarah
yeah,
and Sophie.
I like Michelle.
Oh, no.
I like weird people. Like I like Adam. I like Michelle. I like Nick.
I like
He's
Adam.
also so pretty.
Michelle is awesome.
Okay,
pretty.
but the rumor is, at least this is Paul Sykes' hot take, saying that Michelle gets makeup put on before tribal council.
Oh, if you saw them
Oh.
last tribal council, she looked at. They had their eyebrows done, both Pravati and
I
Michelle.
think that they're both island hot, and
No.
that's what it is.
No, I bet you don't think with this All-Star season that they have provisions to kind of make things a little softer for them.
I mean, they're not horrible train wrecks of human beings. They're very attractive ladies.
The
I
other
don't think they
Yeah,
look that
is,
made up.
like, I noticed when Parv and Ethan were talking that Ethan smiled, his teeth are still so white and clean. Like, I swear to God, they have to have something to clean their
Yeah, they're getting hygienic products this time around. I think they always soften things up to try to get these All-Stars back, and I think this is one of the caveats they put in their contracts.
They do all have multiple outfits on Edge of Extinction. I don't know if you've noticed, but they've got shorts and like Rob has like track pants that he gets to put on.
Right? Yeah. It's a lot softer.
Okay, I put the fire out.
Yay!
I wish there was a way I could share. We did film it a bit, but
I wish you came back into the screen and you had like flour all over your face.
that would be pretty fun.
That would have been awesome.
All right.
It's amazing what your parents teach you that you remember. Right?
Hey, well, yeah, that was very helpful because I
I
wasn't.
would never have guessed flour.
There was a lot of grease coming out of my quiche, so it's going to be a pretty amazing
Are
quiche.
you back in Vancouver now, Ryan, or are you still on the island?
Yeah, I'm in Vancouver.
Not to bury the lead too much before
Yeah,
the fire, but how did Yule go home? Why?
I don't understand.
How did that implode so badly?
was so
Why
cheap.
did he go home? Why did those three guys who had this solid 3 alliance, right? And they've got people that they want to work with when the merge is just around the corner. They're going to work with, they're tight with Sophie and Sarah, and they're going to hook up with these Ben. And then immediately they're like, oh, not immediately, but they somehow one of these guys gets in their head. It's a brilliant idea to vote out one of their big allies. This is just going to piss off the other people that they're going to work with. I think
Mhm.
isn't that going to piss
Right.
them?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Wendell still voted with them. So why, like, oh, we didn't like what he said in tribal council? Well, everyone in tribal council tries to mix things up, whether for screen time or whether to try to keep someone who they're voting out allied later on. Everyone says like kind of cagey stuff at that time. So why is this a big deal?
I think the difference, like not this episode, but the last one, was that they openly at Tribal started talking about making a deal. Like, who do you want me to vote? It
Wendell-
wasn't just a conversation about, you know, talking about who they're gonna vote out or, you know, who's
Right.
gonna write down. They actually like started talking at Tribal.
I thought
He was
Wendell
like,
was just
"Who do
trying
you
to
want me
get
to
the
vote
fire
for?"
tokens from her, though. I thought everyone would understand he was just trying to get fire tokens.
I think it was a pretty transparent attempt to get fire tokens.
Yeah.
Right? Because he tried to make the deal with her earlier. Like, hey, look, give me the fire tokens. And she's like, well, I'll give them to you after. He's like, nope, got to be now. And that was the end of that deal, right?
So you think he was going to get her fire tokens and then not go through with?
That's right.
Of course. Of course he
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
He's not working with Parvati.
Just like Denise did with Sandra. She took her fire token and kicked her out of the. Or she took her idol and
was
voted her out,
awesome.
right?
That
Yeah,
was awesome.
see you later.
I mean, that was poor form on Sandra's part, really. I mean, but what a
It
winner!
really
What
was-
a winner!
It really was
Right.
bad on Sandra's part. Just
Yep.
terrible.
Right.
I'm loving
I don't really
Denise.
like Wendell. I'll have to tell you.
Yeah,
He's
no,
kind of
I don't think anyone's gonna like Wendell after this
sketchy.
season.
So I would say this about Sandra and her queen. She'll be pissed if a woman wins this season because then there'll be
Yeah, she will.
two-time women winners.
Well, no,
I
hold
think
on.
Sandra would
That other
probably
woman?
prefer if a guy wins so that she could stay the queen and there'll be a king.
That other woman would have won $3,000, so she would have beat out Sandra.
What are you talking about?
Sandra's
Huh?
only won $2 million. Sandra's won $2 million.
No, I know,
Right?
but we're just
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
about
sure.
how many Survivor wins.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I think the
About the
victory is,
value.
well, okay, let's
I
be
think-
fair. The money's more important than anything.
Well,
but
the money is like that'll be held up against her, right? It's like Sandra, you might have won twice and you won $2 million, but I won twice and I won $3 million.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still think, I don't know. Oh, there goes Randy. I still think,
Get more alcohol.
all right, man.
Cheers, Randy.
I still think you can't take away from 2 for 2 for her first 2 victories. Everyone's trying to chip away at the legacy of Sandra.
Right.
But like, nah, it's still pretty good feat.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
did she win the first time she played and she won the second time she
Yes.
played?
That's right.
Oh wow.
Exactly.
I don't think
See?
I realized that.
Well, people
Was
forget.
it two in a row? Was it 2 in a row?
No, it
Yeah, she
wasn't
won
in a-
Pearl
it wasn't
Islands
in a
and then
row,
the
but-
Heroes versus Villains.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So I don't think you can take anything away from that.
I do like her. I mean, and you know what? She was smart that she gave up because she knew that she couldn't get back in.
Yep.
'Cause it would have been the challenges. Like it was an intelligent move.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was an intelligence combined with like a severe lack of motivation and
Yeah.
interest, and just overall laziness, and you're not giving a shit. It's great.
Mhm.
It's great. It's great stuff. I love it.
I'm curious who everybody thinks of the cast this season,
Ooh.
of who came back,
Hmm.
who absolutely had 0% chance of winning, other than maybe Sandra and Rob. Do you think anyone this season really coming back still had 0% chance of winning,
Danny.
no matter what?
Danny shot herself at like no one expected Danny to implode. She could have flown under the radar for quite some time, but she really did herself no favors by just going a little bit squirrely.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I did about picking her.
She was a good first vote.
Yeah.
So poor thing, a little paranoid.
Let's see. Apart from that, I don't think Parv had a shot. I really don't.
No.
I don't think anyone was going to give Parv. She's one of the most frequently cited. Like, you know, when they go on the show, they have to fill out this little questionnaire, and that gets published on the CBS website. One of the questions is always, which survivor do you think you're most like? And for females, Parvati is probably, I would
The
say
only
hands
answer.
down, pretty much the only answer anybody gives, especially if you're like cute and young. You're like, oh, I'm gonna play like Parv. I'm gonna, flirt, and but she's good at challenges too, and she uses her brains, and everyone cites Parvati as their inspiration for being on the show. So I think she was a number 2 or number 3 target going in, and I don't think she had a chance.
Did you see Kim? Kim, everybody talked about Kim and wanting to play with Kim or have a shot like Kim. She was my first pick, and I switched her out, sadly. I know. And it was because I thought she was because of that poker game. I thought, man, she's
The
out.
Poker Alliance, yeah. Non-existent Poker Alliance, sure.
I don't think Kim
My
can
only
win at this
hope.
point based on the edit. I really don't think she has. She's getting a real Sierra Dawn Thomas edit, so she might make it to 4th, but she's not going to win.
Yeah,
What do you
Kim.
mean by the edit?
But
Well, how the
she's
show is
Show
edited.
edits.
season. She
You know,
was so
they-
good in our season.
The diehards can tell the way the show is edited who they think is getting a good edit or a bad edit, meaning like they're gonna go or they're probably gonna go far.
So who are they? Who are the people who are getting a good
Well,
at it?
yeah,
Well, you tell us, Randy. What do you think?
I love Michelle. I love Sophie. I love Michelle. I love Sophie. I love Sarah, Nick, and
Yeah,
Adam.
but the
You think
question
Nick's
is
getting
who
a
you.
good edit?
The question was,
Isn't
who
that
do you
like
think is
everyone
getting a
who's
good
left?
edit, not who do you love?
Oh,
Randy, I was going to side with you until you said Nick. Nick is just lame sauce.
yeah, but no, okay, good at it. I think Michelle and Sophie are getting good at it then.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Michelle's getting a pretty good edit, to be honest. I do. I
yeah,
do.
she is. She is.
Especially after last episode.
She's getting quite the hero episode edit. Sorry.
After with Wendell and everything, like I was just like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michelle,
I was just like,
Getting a
wow,
lot of
also.
is she getting a lot of screen time or edit because of the relationship with Wendell and they're trying to show how bad Wendell is?
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's factoring in, but I still think she's getting screen time outside of that. Her relationship with Parv.
Yes.
Even her playing with Nick Wilson, she was
Yeah.
kind of in the driver's seat with the Nick Wilson, kind of steering him into what I think the decision was hers ultimately.
Right.
I don't think Nick really played into that. He was wishy-washy on either one of them. I really kind of feel like that the Yule decision was made a while ago, though. I don't know. I kind of think that it was.
What, to get him
That's-
out?
What makes you say that?
Because just like the kind of stuff I was talking about earlier, how they edit the show and they bring in that conversation that they were having could have taken place a while earlier. I just think that there was a target on the old schoolers. Like this, it can't be a coincidence that they're all, every single one of them is gone.
Yule's not an old schooler though. He doesn't hang around with those guys. It's not like we get rid of anyone under season 20, right?
Yeah.
Probst even said at the tribal
Prior relationships with any of these
the
people.
old schoolers.
Probst did say that. He's like, last of the old schoolers,
Yeah,
Yule.
because he's always Probst is really good at hammering down these themes that he just keep on hammering away at them. I don't think Yule had any connection to any of those other guys. I just think the edit showed what happened to Yule. Yule was always kind of in charge, and you don't want to be that person. You want to let other people think that their ideas, coming up with their ideas, and also it was a purely like he was trying to bond on an intellectual basis, and I think that was Yule's undoing. Not because he was old school.
That's an interesting outlook. I find Yule feels similar to Ethan. There's something similar about them, maybe in what they're showing. I don't know. Maybe.
Their age.
Just their attitude, maybe, or maybe that they're the calm old schoolers that seem
Maybe
to.
they're both a little aloof for sure.
I liked Yule's story. I liked that he was going to donate his money to ALS.
See, I got the complete opposite with Yule and Ethan. Ethan this season really looked out of place. Like he's complete old school. The game has changed drastically, and he can't keep up. He doesn't know what's going on. He's trying to figure out what's going on, and he was like totally out of it. Where with Yule, I found because he's so analytical and he can think the game and see what's going on and see outcomes before they happen, that he adapted to the current game easily. because he can assess all of these situations and what's going on, and he seemed like he fit and, was playing along how he needed.
I mean,
I don't know. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you still need warmth and humanity to appeal to people, though, and Yule lacks that, right? Yule is just a robot.
Loved the robot. I thought he was.
He's a
great.
handsome man for 45 years old.
Not only that, I liked his
Handsome and
intellectual
fit.
side. Yeah,
I
right.
can't be, not gonna lie.
They do make him look taller, though.
He's pretty tall.
I heard he was a short guy.
Really?
No.
Yeah,
He's
shorter.
pretty tall.
I heard that when people met him in person, they're like, "Whoa, you're a lot shorter than we thought."
Where'd you hear that?
I heard that on some show.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm gonna go find that for you.
I look forward to it.
You saw it on the internet where nothing's ever wrong.
I think this whole like, oh, these old schoolers, this narrative that I think, Paul, you have something with, well, obviously with Probst, like, he's got this narrative and he's just going to pound this narrative in. Like, I don't know if these old schoolers, I don't know if they can keep up with the current game. Do you think that's what it is? Oh, how hard is it?
Yeah,
It's the same game. Oh, there's an idol now. I think they get all of them has watched every season, every episode.
Absolutely.
They understand how it works. It's
Do you
not
think
like,
Tyson?
Surprise.
Tyson's not 75. He's like, I don't know what's going on. These kids are moving too fast. Oh.
I like Tyson a lot. I actually almost picked him.
I did pick him, and then I unpicked him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw in the first episode, I had a feeling about the way the game was going to go for people like
You
him.
swapped him out.
I did.
who'd you swap for?
Sophie Georgina Clark.
I didn't even
Yeah,
think of
that's a
her.
good
I thought
swap.
she was
That
so
was a good
boring.
swap,
What?
Just the interviews on YouTube. That's what I do before I make my picks, and that was a poor decision. I think we should get like 2 episodes in before we fully commit.
I like, actually, now that we have a bunch of us on here, I'm curious to know, does everybody like the option at some point to swap? One person, anybody can swap? We all like it?
I think we
Even
should
though
give
I
it till
didn't swap,
episode
yeah.
2. Episode 2. Yeah.
We give you till episode 2.
No, you give us till episode 1, really.
Well,
Well, you only get to
it's a
watch
2-hour episode.
and then
And I stayed with the suck. I have one person left. That's it.
I got
Sucks.
3. Right. Who do you have left?
Kim.
Oh, she might win.
And Kelly, you have Natalie, right? So you got a ton of points.
I have Natalie. She could come back in.
But no, usually someone who loses everybody right away, you might get that last place prize. But because Natalie did so well on Extreme,
Thanks for the confidence vote.
I don't think Natalie has a chance to come back in, and I'm just basing this on the edit now, but she has had no confessionals in like 2 weeks now, and usually they don't just drop someone out of the sky like that. So based just on screen time, I think the only people who are coming back are Boston Robert Tyson.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree.
Well, Tyson gives me hope then.
Ethan? No, Ethan. They give him some screen time. They did.
Ethan's not winning a competition.
No,
though.
he's
Sorry.
not winning competition.
No, Ethan's not getting back in the game, unfortunately. We all love Ethan. I really like seeing him back on the show. I do feel shitty. Here's the one thing that bugs me, and I felt like a little bit of melancholy last night because we're watching these people leave the game, and most of these people are never coming back. Like, that's their, like, when they get voted out and they're on that island, or even Sandra, like, that's it. And as much as people want to bitch about Sandra, like, she's part of the legacy of the show. And I don't know, I kind of have liked seeing her pop up here. And last season was a bit much, that whole Island of the Idols bullshit. But I don't know, I'm gonna miss these.
That was a
people.
weird season. Like,
Yeah, it was terrible.
yeah.
It was
So
terrible.
You know, Ryan, what you're experiencing is the Avengers Endgame moment of it all right now.
there is something to be said about having these characters come back season after season. You see this in Australian Survivor too, because you end up having this love for different people and their game or their attitude or their style, and it's nice when they come back. You feel like a little closer to their characters. I know they're people, but
I think this might be the right time to retire them, though. Do we need to see like a sexy 56-year-old poverty like working her charms on the beach? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely.
Your perfect team.
Come on, Paul, you're barking up the wrong tree here with that logic. man.
Funny, Kelly, I don't like her teeth. I don't think they're
Steve
perfect.
Scott, how do you feel about that?
She has the best teeth in the game, man.
Well, that's not saying a lot.
Here it is.
I don't know. Who do we definitely never need to see again on
I
Survivor?
think Boston Rob,
Rob.
and Sandra have
Boston
reached their
Rob
like
and
exposure
Sandra.
limits, and even Parv to some extent, right?
And Boston Rob's wife, what's her name?
Amber.
Yeah, like that was overdone.
Bye-bye.
Overkill.
Why do you think
Bye-bye.
Rob comes back? Rob agrees to come back if, hey, you're going to give Rob like 50 grand. You're going to give Amber like 50 grand. You're going to bring Amber back, and you're going to give them, I don't know, endless chances to get back into the game, etc. Rob's not coming back in any other format. So
I still think you're going to see Rob again, though. I still think they're going to try to some way into shoehorn him into some season further down the road. because
Wait,
they always-
as a season, as a player, I will take that bet.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
bet you a
Yeah.
dollar.
He's
Sure.
like,
Oh,
last
absolutely.
Season, I didn't
Those are
mind-
high stakes.
I didn't mind last season how they had some type of a mentoring thing, but I was hoping last season shaped up more like the survivor doesn't go there and just get talked to and get given
The
a
winner
choice to do
can get
something. I
mentoring.
wished they did challenges against these all-stars or whatever. So bring some all-stars back in a future season and send survivors over there, but they have to compete against them. And if they win whatever that competition is against like some of these survivor greats, maybe they get something and they get a little bit of knowledge, and maybe that challenge is practice for a challenge that they're going to play in the game when they go back, so they get a little bit of an advantage there. Something like that. I
Well,
thought
that would have been better considering the guy that won never met them.
Exactly. That was like, what a waste of a thing. They didn't even need to meet Sandra or Rob, and he ended up winning.
Are you telling me that those guys didn't learn some really backcountry survival skills from Sandra Diaz Twine?
Yeah.
I really think that the one player they should have brought back, one of my all-time favorites, was Cochran.
Yeah, Cochran turned it down.
Yeah.
Aw, he's
Yeah.
a writer for like NBC now or CB. I don't know, for some.
He's a writer for some shitty show.
From some garbage show on CBS that Jeff Probst like nepotismed his way into.
What do you mean nepotism his way? That's
Well,
not-
Jeff Probst just like called up some producer of some show and says, "Hey, we love Cochran. Can you give Cochran a writing job?" And so that's how Cochran got that job. I'm sure. Wasn't on the merits of his actual writing. I'm
I
sure. But
loved
he's a
his
smart guy.
awkward.
He was really good his first season. He really was.
He was great his second season. He's
No,
a
I meant his
fantastic winner.
second season, really. Yeah.
His first season, he was just a goofball, like a terrible character. I mean, he playing up to the cameras to get nothing.
Why didn't Tom Weston show up?
Tom Westman, yeah, he. I think he's had some health problems. I think he's quite overweight.
Because he's also like what, 65?
No.
95? I don't know. What is he?
I'd ask Google, but all your phones will probably go off, so I'm not gonna.
Kelly, where are you going?
I'm guessing Tom Westman's about 57.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think what we're all
Hey,
missing
there are
here is-
50-year-olds in this group, so don't you dare denigrate the 50-plus crowd.
I
right?
wasn't. All I'm saying is the show itself has jumped the shark, and it won't be on in 5 years because the last three. That's it.
Ooh.
Don't you think in the last, like the Island of the Isles, and before that, it was that the train wreck where that guy won after only being on the island for 10 days because of.
That
and
was
then the season
terrible.
before that was Ghost Island, which was another terrible gimmick.
Ooh,
I
that
think
was
Terrible. That was terrible.
it's been a real run where it reeks of desperation.
Well, wait. Before they can it, they're going to have, for sure, here's what the seasons are going to have before they decide to throw in the towel. Celebrity Survivor.
Right.
100%. They're going to get Celebrity Survivor with we'll get Lisa Welchel back and people of that ilk.
Yeah, the fifth Baldwin brother.
Urkel is going to be on.
Oh my God, I can't wait for taking him.
You're going to pick.
I'm going to pick Urkel.
They can get OJ to play.
What's the question?
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be controversial.
Exactly. Exactly what's
Just because he's so old. Yeah. Otherwise, I think he's a great pick. Let's see. So they're gonna do Celebrity Survivor. They'll do like Survivor Legends, where they'll have a reason to bring back like Russell Hantz and Coach and all these.
Right.
Oh, I
Debbie
hate
Right.
Russell. And
Right.
Coach was a bit much.
Yeah, but they're great TV. Those guys.
They are, but
Oh,
they've
like
also
it.
been. I think we've seen like I think we've got all the mileage out of Coach and Russell Hantz.
Yeah, Russell was a little bit like overkill. Didn't Coach quit smoking and then go on Survivor? Like, wasn't it?
That was Shane Powers.
Oh yeah, that was
Shane.
great, right? Like, if you're
Very
gonna,
similar people.
oh, it's true.
Interesting to see a complete show of all past villains.
Ooh.
Yeah, we need Johnny.
that would be hard to watch.
They might do a Heroes versus Villains too. That I can see them doing that.
I see a Legend season. But that was a very popular season. I see a second fan vote-in season,
Okay, yeah.
and that's maybe it.
But
I see watching Survivor Australia season over and over.
Yeah, I mean, there you
How-
go.
You guys should really. I am asking. I really think you guys should do a pool for Australian Survivor.
I don't think we're gonna get much buy-in over that because we can't. No one can just watch it on Wednesday night, right?
Well, you can all watch it now.
Again, so how would we do that?
We can pick a day.
She
'Cause
sent a
I
link.
sent a link.
Yeah.
There's a link in the
You
chat,
can watch-
Uh-huh.
you can
and
watch
it's
all the
actually
things.
the Survivor Australian series. Like, I actually sent the link to the series, but there's a way for next season because they play what 2 to 3 episodes back to back, which is really interesting. But it is on specific days.
I'm
and the-
I'm out for scoring that one.
Oh yeah,
Oh, never mind then.
this is
Too much work.
this is
I-
about the
sometimes
amount
I
of work
barely
I'm
get
ever
this one
willing to
out
put
before the
into.
next episode. So
You're doing
Hey, if
awesome,
I-
Greg.
I think you know what would be a good season? All the first votes out.
I like it
No,
too.
it'll be-
That would be
Hey,
so
Ken.
good.
I'm on board, Randy.
What?
You know why? You don't
I'm
know
on
if these-
board.
First
I'm on
boots would
board.
be awesome.
Some of the
Yeah,
first
all the
boots are
first
total
ones out.
duds. I'm telling you. Like, so
Yeah,
you think it's a good
completely.
season,
Yes,
but it'll be
that would be-
terrible.
That would be so good.
What
Here's
about-
what I'm going to say to you. How many
Okay.
people here have met any actual survivors?
I have not. Nor do I want
You
to.
guys have?
Oh, Ryan, not fair.
Who's met?
Oh, well, okay, Junior, I know you've met Rob and Amber, right?
yeah,
Okay.
Oh no! No
That's
way.
pretty good.
Really?
Ryan,
yeah. Jamie,
not
Jamie
fair.
and I were vacationing in New York City, and they just happened to have the premiere of The Amazing Race
Right.
when we were there in the park. So we were walking around Central Park, and I hear these voices, and I said to Jamie, I said, "That sounds like Boston Rob." And so we went to check out where this, this speaker was announcing something, and we noticed that they were doing the premiere of Amazing Race in the park, and it was the season that Rob and Amber were on Amazing Race. So we went in and we walked around and we got a picture taken with them, and yeah, it was kind of a fun event.
Did you tell Rob that Amber had a smoking ass?
No, but it was funny because Jamie, because we watched Survivor and stuff, we know of both Rob and Amber, right? So when Jamie looked over and she saw Amber like looked over and like looked at her, and Jamie had this like smile, like, "Hey," and then she was like, "Oh yeah, you don't know me."
I went to a thing last year, and was it last year in Boston? And I met a few of the survivors there. And here's the only reason that I bring this up is that everyone I talked to who was a survivor, even the people who you would think like, they're kind of passable in terms of the interest level, everyone was like super magnetic and super interesting and really charismatic and fun to talk to. And I think that the level of casting that you have to get through, like the gauntlet of casting you have to get through to get on the show, you can't be a dud. Like, I don't think there's that many duds on. I mean, okay, so you get your like, what was that guy on Coaches last season that Sophie won? Cowboy Rick? That
Cowboy
guy-
Rick was a dud.
Total. Okay, fine. But you talk to people like Probst was, man, Cowboy Rick in his Ranger Rick or whatever was so interesting in the interviews, and he gave us so much, and then on the show you just don't pop. I think that we've got to get through so much casting, right, Randy? Like, Randy, how many levels of casting have you gone through so far?
So many.
Oh,
Randy, you've got to.
Randy, you've cast for it?
No, my side gig, I act in commercials.
Oh, you were one of the actor series?
The what?
You know how there's one series of Survivor that was like all actors?
That what?
Yeah.
Thing that never happened.
Yeah. No, there's one. There's one. I think. Yeah, I'll go find it for you guys.
Okay.
Australia?
You might be looking for a while.
Australia.
No. It was. They couldn't get enough contestants.
Oh, they cast a lot of like actor
Okay.
type
Models.
Like,
it was
Hollywood
a whole bunch
wannabes.
of models.
Sure,
Yeah.
There's seasons like that.
Yes.
Where they're recruits, right? Where people don't actually apply, and there were seasons where they cast a lot of recruits. Yeah.
Yes.
They're just people that they would see. So Philip, you guys remember Philip Shepard? That guy's coming back on some fucking legend season. The pink underwear guy. They just found him like he was rollerblading around Santa Monica, and some guy thought he looked funny, and so they talked to him on the show.
He's considered a legend.
I would say he should get that status. I think he was such a ridiculous TV that for sure you put him up
so
there with
over the
Coach.
top as characters. Yeah, if you're gonna put Coach in that and Debbie and all these weirdos,
absolutely.
the show is nothing without weirdos.
Legends aren't necessarily good people.
No,
that play
not necessarily good
No.
players.
Regular people.
Yeah, you're getting characters on a legend season. You're not getting good Survivor players. Oh my God. You're gonna put like Jonathan Penner on there, who's a terrible Survivor player, but he's like an awesome guy to have on the show.
Yeah.
You're gonna put Ozzy on there because like fucking Ozzy's just about out of drug money.
They should have let him win.
Again with the Aussie.
Well, come on.
Is Ozzy like doing a lot of drugs? Was that the rumors? I thought that was Jenna.
Yeah.
Who? Which
No,
one?
Ozzy just does like. I mean, there's no day that Ozzy's not waking and baking.
Right?
Was there already
sure.
a season that Caleb came back?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is the absolute worst second-time player of all time in my estimation.
Beast mode cowboy. Yeah.
Why did that guy come back? He was awful.
Does anybody feel like they have to rewatch seasons so they can remember some of the people?
No,
Yes.
I remember.
I'm not super.
Everybody
You've watched some seasons back, haven't you? Has anyone ever rewatched a season?
Not even one.
I have.
I certainly have.
I started rewatching season 1 a long time ago, and then I didn't bother.
Season 1 is almost unwatchable. With
It is.
hard
It
to
is.
watch.
It's really
with
hard
the
to watch.
eating of the rats, I have to say it was the only season I didn't watch. I started in season 2.
Well, it wasn't so much the eating of the rats. It's just that everything moves and I like a slower paced game, but everything moves so slow.
It's so slow.
And the production value is so low at that time. Like Jeff Probst isn't doing the play by play, so all the challenges have no real pop to them. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's a trip to go back and watch it.
I'm gonna start season 2 and rewatch them because I don't know some of the people you talk about. I'm like, who is that?
Even seasons 2 and 3 are harder to watch. I think that you don't want to probably turn into maybe Pearl Islands, maybe Amazon.
Well, like I said on
My favorite
Sunday,
was Africa. Honestly,
I
who
liked
was that
Africa
guy
too.
that won? The guy that won, I loved him.
Ethan.
That's Ethan.
No.
He was on this show.
The round dude that was the farmer. Really
He didn't
Tom.
win. That's Tom. but he
Definitely didn't win.
Oh well, he should have.
Are you thinking of Colby?
I love Colby.
Oh, I loved Colby too.
Randy. Okay, I want Randy's top
Randy,
10.
that was it.
Okay. If I
Randy,
gave
I want
you
your top 10 favorite survivors of all time.
You guys would hate them. You would
Well,
hate them.
That's why we're asking you.
Well, I have to go through that. I have to go on the internet.
No, Randy, just off the top of your head. Come on. We're putting you on the spot here.
Well, we're looking for some good comedy here.
Yep.
Yeah, but okay, I have to go through them because there's
Okay. Well, for the next meetup, we'll give people some directives for they're gonna get their
what I
top
wanna
5
say?
favorites of all
You
time.
know what I want to say? You know what I miss
Okay.
is, and because I'm a vegetarian, I miss those freaky eating challenges.
Mhm.
Oh, I did not like those. Oh,
Yes.
Eliminated because I wasn't good. I remember Kimmy.
No.
Kimmy's a vegetarian.
Oh,
Right.
she had such a hard time with those.
dude, because it's disgusting.
Yes.
I would quit. I would quit.
It's disgusting whether you're a vegetarian or not.
Yes.
What was that show they had in the?
Oh,
in the interim, at the same time, it was like,
Fear factor.
yeah, same thing. Like what? Like you just had to turn that crap off.
Like you
Like-
think full testicles? What the fuck?
Like, oh my god!
That.
No, terrible.
Of
I'm
things
gonna
I
have
wish
my
they-
I'm gonna have my Ryan Sykes moment and say my favorite one was when they made them eat the eggs in the Philippines that had like the
The
Balut.
chicken,
like-
the dead duck.
Balut.
Balloon.
Ugh.
Anyone here ever eaten balut before?
No.
No.
pass.
Ew.
No.
It's awful. It's awful.
Right?
Some Filipino kid brought it to class once, and
I'll
he did a
take your word for
presentation
it.
on it. And I tried it, and it was really disgusting.
Nope.
I got asked in Thailand. They were like, "Here, you gotta try this. It's like dead. I don't know, some like bug." I was like, "No, I don't.
I got a problem with bugs. Mm.
Yeah, I'm just not into the crunch
No,
like
but
that. No."
All of the shit that they did, that was disgusting, right?
Well,
Like
that was the purpose of it. It was to it was gross out stuff to, basically, okay, here's how I know that it was a good thing to have on the show, because years later, we're talking about it.
if there's things from previous
Spectacle.
seasons that they don't do anymore, the one thing that I wish they would bring back is the Survivor auction.
They have the Survivor auction
what
still.
was that?
They
The
just had it.
They never have the Survivor auction anymore.
I used to get lamed out by the family stuff because
Paul,
I
I-
was like
Paul, I can't
30
hear you right.
days. I was like, come on now. Oh, what are you saying, Paul?
He's-
Paul, you've cut out.
No sound.
Make sure the mic's plugged in. Oh, no.
Yeah, there you go.
That working?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Here's why they stopped doing the auction. So for a while it was interesting, right? People would get $500 and they would bid on like peanut butter or pizza or whatever it is.
Right.
And that was kind of fun, and it created for some excitement. And then they started introducing advantages. So no one would ever buy
Not
any of the
anything.
food. They would just hold on to their money for the advantage to show up, because that's all anybody wanted. And so it
Mhm.
created just a lack of interest in the auction overall. I'm sure there are ways that they could tweak it.
Didn't they just do one? I remember seeing somebody ate everything. They
Not
got-
that I recall. I know they
No,
did
that
the
was
gross.
Survivor
They did
24.
Maybe
Yeah, that
was
might have been the last
Australian
one.
Survivor. Never mind. Never.
Could have been Australian Survivor.
You-
They
if
did
you-
the gross food challenge, I want to say maybe 4 seasons ago. There was that one woman, and I can't remember her name for the life of me, who like deep throated a sea cucumber. You guys don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I definitely
was
think
so
it was
gross.
Survivor and not the porn parody of Survivor, which I also love. I mean, that's,
porn parody Survivor?
I don't know.
There
Randy-
has to be.
Randy,
I'm
there's no way there
sure.
isn't. There's a 0%
I don't
chance there's
know,
not
he
a porn
says.
parody. of
I'm
Survivor.
gonna look this up, but I'm on my school computer, so I can't use this computer. I am gonna be looking up.
Yeah, Randy, maybe
Parody
you
of
can get
Survivor.
cast for that one.
Yeah, what's the casting process like for that, I wonder?
The bar's got to be lower.
Randy, you're gonna keep applying, right?
No, I'm not. I want to. Okay, I do think I'd make some great reality TV. Right? I want to be on a reality show.
Survivor.
I want to be. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I want
But
to
you
be.
know how you get on those shows, Randy? You go and apply to be on the shows.
Yeah, Randy, do it.
Talking to us, we don't have
Ryan?
any ins with production.
No,
Ryan.
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 I'm trying to encourage Randy in a passive-aggressive way to go and apply.
I would apply, but I'd get
you
voted
in a
out.
passive aggressive way.
Oh, I'm not, come on.
Yes.
Come on now, Canadians are welcome now.
Right?
They are. Yeah, I mean they've cast one Canadian.
Yeah, because you didn't apply.
Oh,
Yes.
that could be. Yeah, sure. I don't think that's. I think my Survivor playing days are possibly behind me, but.
Ryan's got a bad
Oh,
back
weak.
and bad knees.
Yeah, but Randy's a dynamo. He adds a whole bunch of different elements that are unique to the show, I think. And Randy, there's no way you shouldn't go for it, buddy. Let's all encourage. At least we'll have somebody on there. All right.
Yeah, Randy.
Go, Randy. Go, Randy.
Yeah.
Come on, Randy, I'll pick you in my pool.
I am tempted.
I dare you.
Yeah.
Like I go through all these casting auditions all the time, anyways.
Exactly.
Do it.
This is.
Oh,
That would be
you could
so
totally do
exciting
it.
for all of us.
Randy, I think you could make it on the show, and I think you'd be the first boot, and I'd love to watch that episode.
It'd be a classic first boot.
I would either be the first boot or I'd win.
Right?
Oh, I think there's only one of those scenarios, which is plausible.
Speaking of first boot, did you guys find it interesting that Natalie's twin sister and her had the same experience? Because Natalie got voted out the first time and her twin sister got voted. I thought that was pretty interesting that they were just so unlikable.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't because Natalie was unlikable.
Natalie's a very likable.
It was a very tight pair with Jeremy, and you got to get rid of the pairs early. That's the only reason.
She seemed annoying at first. No, likable later.
I'm a big Natalie fan.
I never got the feeling that people found Natalie annoying. I think Natalie knows when to kind of pull back and not be in everyone's face. I don't think people have that response to her from her first season anyway.
I liked her after, the first couple seasons, the first couple shows, and then But initially, I thought.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, do we have any other hot takes for tonight? How long have we been going? I have no idea.
An hour.
Over an
We're
hour.
about an hour? Yeah, we want to keep
an
these
hour
as
and
tight
10
as humanly possible, I think.
55 minutes and 41 seconds.
Well, trust me, this was nowhere near tight. This is all over the place. So.
Okay, well, how do we do these going forward? Should we have an agenda coming in?
Yeah, I'm going to give you my top 10 survivors next time I come.
Okay, so
You should probably have a stricter topic line.
Okay, well, who's going to be in charge of that?
I'm guessing you or Greg.
Yeah.
Me and Greg do so much for so many already.
Right. Okay.
Need a
someone else.
Can we get
someone
Tibor
else
to
do it? Yeah.
We can get Tibor, the Bulgarian guy down at the factory.
I do a lot of agendas in my life. No.
This thing is named Sykes Survivor Talk, so I vote one of the Sykes brothers take ownership.
Well, only one of these scenarios is plausible. I'll think about it. What do you guys want to talk about? Okay, so what do you guys give me some ideas for how we can make these more cohesive going forward?
So basically, if you want to you just want to basically talk about the first of all, you never want to bury the lead. So you obviously want to talk about what the big thing of that Survivor episode was. Let everyone weigh in, and then you probably just want to go through each stage of Survivor, and then at the end you have any kind of disparate thoughts that anyone wants to add to it. But if you want to add some structure, that's basically how you do it, right?
And then at the very end of the show, we get Randy's hot take.
Right. Get the Randy minute, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Randy should get a minute. At some point.
A timed minute.
Yeah, a strict timed minute.
You know what? Man, Randy plays his cards right. It'll be like one of those Rick Mercer ones where you see him walking up and down the alley. We can get Randy holding his laptop in front of him, yelling about Survivor. Hot take stuff right there. Okay, that's it. I'm calling it right now.
Take it to the streets, Randy.
Look, I have to come up with a good top 10 survivors.
You can limit it to 5.
Have you guys looked at what's his name, Pandeep, on YouTube that talks about Survivor?
Outside of specific podcasts, I don't do tons of Survivor research anymore.
He's the only YouTuber I love because of the way he does it, which is a lot of the video footage he takes from the Survivor show. It's just good. But you guys you're right on target with him on a lot of what you think.
Yeah, well, this guy sounds amazing. Let's get him on board here. I'll try and use my connections to get some top survivors on here for next week.
Perfect.
You just name a person, I'll get them on here. Cochran, I'll get him.
Johnny Fairplay.
Fairplay, done. I'll get Fairplay, I'll get Fairplay's grandma, and I'll get Thunder D. Anybody you want, no problem. I'm just going to reach out on Twitter. Oh, that guy. That guy's run a Survivor pool for. Hey guys, I'm this guy from Canada. I've run a Survivor pool with my loser friends. I mean, my super cool.
Oh.
I actually. I need to say.
Just kidding. Deep cut.
I just meant based on the percentage of you guys that have won the Survivor pool. That's all I meant.
I'll have to say.
Steve Scott, a winner, right? Yeah.
One time.
The guy came in second.
Junior won once.
Yeah. My friend Joanna got last place,
which is hard.
Yeah,
Last
that is
second.
actually.
Last intentionally is really difficult.
Leanne,
Was
you've
it-
never won?
No, I think I've been second. That's about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Paul.
I came in
Paul,
second
you're
once,
right
too.
now. Currently, you've been in the Paul. You've been winning 4 weeks in a row, I think.
True, and I think you're going to lose Wendell next week. So
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
Great. You know
Out of
what?
there.
20 people have Wendell. Fantastic. I lose Wendell. Big deal.
I know, but that because then Tyson will come back in the game, giving me the lead.
Right.
But you already have the lead.
Well, sustaining my lead.
Does that mean we should get extra points for Sandra, like leaving?
No.
No.
No, now you get nothing and no possibility.
exactly.
No
No.
possibility of anything.
Had she been in the
Who's picking
show,
Sandra in this
not-
pool? Come
not
on.
voted out. No, because there is points if your survivor quits.
She
Right?
quit.
Oh shit, there are. Yeah.
Ah.
I
But
mean, there's an
Okay.
immunity component.
she
So-
was voted out of the game and she didn't stay on extinction. So she gave up on extinction. She didn't quit the game.
She quit
I
the
still
game.
give her
I
the
like
quit
your
point.
reasoning.
She
I
quit
like
the
that.
game. She quit the game, dude. She left the game.
Yeah, that's
Game is still on.
Like, yeah, but
The
she,
game is afoot.
but she quit. She was like, and this is my legacy. I'm hanging up my like ice skates, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yep, she quit. Oh, should we do this? Should we have 100 points if you retire?
Oh yes.
No.
Sandra
ahead.
officially retired from Survivor. Okay, I'll do this one last thing. Okay.
Okay.
Is there anybody here who's playing right now that you guys think for sure is a slam dunk to play again? I'll go around the Brady Bunch here because we almost have a Brady Bunch type scenario. Okay, go, Junior.
Sorry, what was the question? I was looking at the spreadsheet to confirm if there's quitting points. And there's no quitting points. There's only points if you're forced to leave the game by no choice of your own.
Okay.
Okay, so Junior, we don't care what you think anymore. No.
Wait, no, what was the question?
One player who you think for sure is going to play Survivor again.
From
this cast.
From this cast?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go with crap.
Okay, anyone else have an answer?
Tony.
I got an answer. Tony's going to play again.
Tony. Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, do you know why? Because even the little he's given them this season has been like, we got to put this on screen. Look at this fucking ladder. Look at this guy running on the beach, right? Like everything he's done has made the airwaves.
He's a lunatic, but he's a lovable lunatic. Not
Right.
like your Debbies or your
Yeah.
Phillips who like
Yeah.
people
There's a
genuinely
heroes versus
Yeah.
villain series. He's on as a villain.
Tony will play again.
Hands down.
hate. Okay, Tone. All right, we've
I
got
think
one
Sarah,
for Tony.
Sarah will play again.
I'm with Tony as well.
Mm.
Sarah, you're going Sarah Lucina, huh?
Sarah, or
Sarah,
who was the lady that did the 2 token or did the vote out for Sandra? What's her name?
Denise.
She might get a return for that move alone.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I
don't
go
think
with
they were
Sarah.
thrilled to have Denise back in the
Same,
first place.
Sarah.
I thought they were-
Yeah, I agree, Paul. I agree.
yeah.
Leanne, what do you think?
I kind of don't want to see any of them back, to be honest. I feel like I'm kind of I'm kind of over this. Like, I'm liking them right now. I like the dynamic right now, but yeah,
Wow.
there's nobody that I'd really want to see play again.
You know
We're
what's
just putting
you
them
know
out
what's
to pasture.
Do you know what's weird though is that I've never been more like, so we always say, oh, these guys have such overexposure, but this is the only Survivor season I've been interested in years. So there's something to be
too.
said,
Same.
right?
Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
like it's hard because yeah, you want to see new people, but like a new cast, I'm not interested in this cast. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to see this. So what do
You
you do
need to
going
wa-
forward?
Watch Australian Survivor. Just saying.
Yes, that's the answer to everything.
Well, yeah. Well, they're also bigger sports people, right? Like they did an Olympian one where they're all Olympic athletes, so it was pretty epic. But what about Tyson? Anybody think Tyson will come back?
Tyson's going to be my answer.
Yeah, he's funny.
They're giving him a lot of time.
The producers love Tyson. He gives them
Yeah.
gold every single time.
Portly fellow
yeah,
was gold. Gold. That was gold.
He
and
has
the number one
nothing
thing,
else going
nothing
on.
else to do.
He has nothing else going on.
Yeah.
He doesn't work. He just sits at home making Instagrams all day. That's all he does all day long.
And
And
I
talks
get
to
the
his daughters.
So I get the
Survivor's Life,
impression too that
yeah.
outside of the game, that production actually just really likes him because he really had no business coming back after Heroes versus Villains.
Nope.
He kind of flamed out, but I just think that like he must have ingratiated himself to everyone in the Survivor, whoever makes these decisions, because they really like this guy.
Yeah, 100%. I think Tyson's the guy. Randy, do you have a take on this?
I have 3,
Okay. Oh, well.
but I'm way out there.
Okay.
Like,
We were almost positive you were going to be way out there, so go ahead.
I would say Ben,
Michelle.
Jeremy, and Michelle.
Ben's all right, little crazy.
Yeah,
I like him though.
love
I
Ben.
did pick him.
I love Ben.
Who else did you say?
Jeremy.
And Michelle.
Jeremy's already a
Like
3-time
Michelle.
player, so I doubt it.
Mm.
I think Michelle depends on how far she goes in this
Yeah.
game, because Jeff doesn't even really like her. And Ben, maybe.
I think I'm kind of lukewarm on all these, except I kind of
Yeah.
like Jeremy. But I
Yeah.
could see Randy's actually not off. I could see a scenario where all
I
3
love
play
them all.
again.
They're just.
Okay.
I pick weird people.
No,
That's
I
can see
love
that,
your
I picked
weird
Jeremy.
people.
I picked
Yeah.
Jeremy and Michelle.
I picked Ben because I thought Ben was fun.
Mhm.
He is fun.
I really like him. Like,
Yeah.
he makes good TV.
Yeah, he's got a lot
He
of
does.
personality.
That's where Adam lost me. I did pick Adam, but Adam's like a tool, a little bit.
But I
so.
still love his confessionals and what he's doing. It makes for good TV.
It is true.
That's
Yeah.
why I really like these people who have
Mhm.
personalities that are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know one
Similar
thing?
to
No, I know I talk about this a lot, but in Australian Survivor, they do nickname the characters. So there's like a character called the Golden God. There's a character called the Silent Assassin, like the Laughing Assassin. Like there's some wicked nicknames. So I think we should
sounds like
nickname.
George R.R. Martin is writing
Oh,
Australian
it's
Survivor.
so good. Like I love the Golden God. I'm voting for him. Like honestly, but so I think we should nickname the
Or
characters.
Dennis Reynolds.
Well,
That's
you
a
know
Dennis Reynolds.
That's it.
what?
Kelly, do you have a player you think's coming back?
Sarah. Sarah would be my
Oh.
choice.
I don't. Yeah, I could
Yeah, 'cause-
almost see that.
Because Sarah's your 2-time winner. I'm telling you right now. That's why she's coming back a
What?
3rd time. Yeah.
Oh, was that your take from last time? Is it
Yeah,
she's winning?
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Sarah's,
think
winning,
she might
Sarah's
win.
winning this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
Absolutely.
Even this episode, Sophie got way more airtime.
She did get more airtime than Sarah, although Sarah was still there. And
Yeah,
you know
she
who
was still there.
You know who picked up the fire tokens was one for Sophie, one for Sarah
Yeah.
from Yule, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That was good. Actually.
Junior, you scored that, right?
Yep.
Okay, thanks,
Yeah,
buddy.
Junior, eh?
Yeah. Steve, what do you think? Anybody coming back?
Okay, Ryan. I have a few cans of beer inside me, so my main pick right now,
Shocker.
because I'm a fan of The Good Place, I go for Jeremy, just because we call him Jeremy Baramy inside of our house.
Oh, I love The Good Place.
I love The Good Place too. It's a great show.
It's a pretty good show. I like it. It's a
There
good
you
show.
go.
Well,
Who doesn't like
well,
philosophy paired with like good sitcom?
Exactly.
yeah, I'm a Ted Danson fan. I like him. I think he's great. He's a handsome
I think
older
Kristen
man.
Bell is great in that show. I
She's
really
good.
like. Yeah.
Them together is gold.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
both
man.
have great hair.
Jeremy Baramy, that's it.
Yeah, Jeremy. I can see Jeremy playing again.
I really like him. He's great. I don't know if he's a 4-time player.
He is not memorable because I don't know who he is.
Don't vote against the
Ow.
Baramy.
Wow.
Joking. It was joking.
This is only his 3rd time, so maybe by his 4th time you'll have
Hey, fourth
gotten
time.
the memo.
He is
So,
good.
all
he
right.
is
Well,
good.
I guess we'll reconvene in several years and we can see whether or not we're correct.
Right.
So I'll try and get more a little agenda. I'm happy to do this next week. This is a great turnout. I really like
Yes.
Survivor.
That sounds
So,
good.
thanks for joining us this week, you guys. I will try and keep it on track. I'll talk to Junior how we can keep it on track a little bit better. And it is Sykes' Survivor pool, so Paul Sykes, you really need to start pulling your weight, buddy.
I'm here.
Yeah, you know what? I shouldn't start. I don't want to push
Also,
I don't
like,
want
I
to
was
push my luck.
Will, you were burning your house down. Like I felt really bad about logging in 6 minutes late because I thought it was really unprofessional. And then you were fucking baking key.
Burning quiche, dude.
I gotta eat.
Burning.
No, quiche is not on fire. The quiche dripped.
Oh, that was
onto
the best.
No, the quiche isn't on
Burning
fire.
down the house.
Can you post a picture
Attaboy.
that you took inside the group just so we know what
I
happened?
I will put on my Instagram me eating the quiche.
Not
Is
the
it
same.
keto? I won't eat it if it's not keto, though. I'm all about the keto life. So stupid. Okay, guys, nice to see you.
Nice to see y'all.
We'll watch,
See you too.
watch the show next week. Until then, got nothing else for you.
All right, bye guys.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.